Ikaw ang binibining na ninanais ko, binibining marikit na dalangin ko. Ikaw ang nagbigay ng kulay sa aking mundo. Sana ay kung habang
Good day, class! Welcome back to our PN Health Week 3. So how are past 2 weeks in our new normal education? I know that some of you are not yet adjusted. But don't worry. I'm here to guide you. So some says that eating less needs less exercise. And the more you eat, the more you need to exercise. Try to remember that. Please prepare the following: paper and your ball pen. And remember, you can always pause this video and play it whenever you want. What I need to know: discuss the FITT principles and principle of physical activity to help in developing a private exercise preparation. So what is FITT means? So you will know it later in this video. Create fitness plan based on the FITT principle of physical activity to reach a fitness goal. Evaluate the potential benefits of FITT principles and perform moderate to vigorous physical activities based on the program fitness plan. So what's in? So let's have our fitness quest. So you will identify here the health-related fitness components of the physical activities in column A belongs to. And then you will determine whether they are a cardiovascular activity, flexibility muscular or strength activity, and endurance activity. Example, jogging. That is a cardiovascular activity. So that is only an example. And you will write your answer in the separate sheet of paper. And you can do this after watching this video. What's new? Word shot. So what are the 5 components of fitness? Arrange the scrambled letters. First component. That is correct. It is a cardiovascular endurance. And a cardiovascular endurance is the level at which your heart and lungs and muscles work together when you are exercising for an extended period of time. So the second one, yes, that is correct. Muscular strength. So speaking of muscular, so we're speaking about our muscles. The third one, yes, that is correct. It is a muscular endurance. And a muscular endurance is the ability of an organism to exert itself and remain active for a long period of time. So it is usually used in an aerobic or anaerobic exercise. Yes, the fourth one, that is correct. It is flexibility. So, how flexible you are. Yes, the last one. Component is correct. Body composition. And the body composition is used to describe the percentage of fat, bone, water, and muscle in human bodies. So, that are the 5 components of fitness. So, first is the cardiovascular endurance. Second one is the muscular strength. The third one, the muscular endurance. The fourth is flexibility. And the fifth is the body composition. Principle. What is principle? Principle is a fundamental truth or proposition that serves as the foundation for a system of belief or behavior or for a chain of reasoning. So that is the meaning of principle. But in PA, a principle is just know the rules. What is it? Effective training takes time and patience. If one adheres to proper principles of training, result will definitely seen. The performance will be improved and physiological changes will occur as well. A proper program of exercise considers three principles of training. So there are three principles of training. The first one is the principle of overload. Second one, the principle of progressive, and the principle of specificity. Take note, we have also the principle of reversibility. So let's discuss the four principles. Overload principle. This principle pertains to doing more than normal for improvement to happen. It means boost our fitness, strength, or endurance. Workload is extended accordingly. Applying these training principles will cause long-term adaptations, enable the body to figure more efficiently to deal with higher level of performance. So meaning doing more than normal. Just like this picture, look at this picture. That is more than normal. Hindi natin kayang buhatin kaagad ng ganyan yan. So that is the overload principle. Overloading will achieve by the following the acronym FITT. F is for frequency, increasing the number of times you train per week. I for intensity, increasing problem of the exercise. For instance, running at 12 km per hour rather than 10 km per hour, or increasing the load you're squatting with. T, time. Increasing the length of your training time for every session. For instance, cycling for 45 minutes rather than 30 minutes. Type. Increase the intensity of the training. For instance, progress from walking to running. So that is the acronym FITT means. Principle of progression. To ensure that the result will still improve over time, the adapted workload should be continually increased. A gradual and systematic increase within the workload over a period of time will lead to improvement in fitness without risk of injury. If overload occurs and increase rapidly, it may lead to injury or muscle damage. If increases slowly, improvement is unlikely. The principle of progression also stresses the requirement for correct rest and recovery. Continual stress on the body and constant overload will lead to exhaustion and injury. You ought not to train hard all the time, as you will risk overtraining and a decrease in fitness. So that is the principle of progression. Okay, here are the example of the principle of progression. So look at the picture. So slowly going up. And the second picture, carrying light to heavy. At kung gagawin nyo naman yung picture sa pangatlo, look. So walang progression. Ang ginawa niya is tumakbo kayo silang mabilis, kaya wala pa sa finish line, pagod na siya. So hindi niya nasunod yung rules ng progression. So that are the example of the principle of progression. Principle of specificity. We all heard the phrase, practice makes perfect. Well, this is often the principle of specificity in action. This principle simply states that exercising a specific piece of component of the body primarily develops that part. So the principle of specificity implies that to become better at a selected exercise or skill, you need to perform that exercise or skill. So meaning, ini-specify ng principle na ito kung saan lang tayo magaling. No? Kung saan tayo magaling, dun lang tayo magpo-focus. Example, archery. So you just focus on archery. Track and field. So dun lang tayo nagpo-focus. Next one is swimming. So kung magaling kayo sa swimming, dun kayo magpo-focus na swimming. So that is the principle of specificity. Principle of reversibility. Development of muscles will happen in regular movement and execution are completed. If activity ceases, it will be reversed. This shows that benefits and changes achieved from overload will last as long as training is continuous. On the flip side, this also implies that the training effect will be reversed once training is resumed. Note, the effect of training will be lost if the training discontinued. For example, okay, let us have an example of the principle of the reversibility. Halimbawa, from January to March, kayo ay nag-gym. Pero dumating ang pandemic. So, nag-lockdown. Hindi na tayo makalabas. So, meaning, yung pag-gym natin within 3 months ay mababaliwala na siya. So, kasi mag-i-stop na kayo eh. Hindi na kayo makakapag-gym. Even na lang kung may mga gamit kayo sa bahay. No? Kaya nga sabi, use it or lose it. So let's have the table of the FITT principles. So we have the factor and the definition. So the frequency is the number of meeting in a week. Intensity, effort level of the exercise. The time, period cover in an exercise session. Type, kind of activity. So we will elaborate this on the next slide. Okay, the frequency is how often you exercise. The intensity is how hard you exercise. The time, how long you will exercise. And the type is what kind of exercise. So frequency, how often. So for cardiovascular exercise, it is a moderate exercise 5 or more days every week, or intense cardio 3 days every week to improve your health. So, pag moderate ang exercise, so pwede ito ng 5 or more days every week. Pag intense naman, 3 days every week to improve your health. For strengthening, suggested frequency is 2 to 3 non-consecutive days a week. So, that is the suggestion for strengthening exercise, or the frequency is 2 to 3 non-consecutive days a week. Intensity. How hard? For cardiovascular, so always monitor intensity by heart rate or pulse. Steady state workouts is at moderate intensity. High intensity can do it in a short period of time. So meaning kung kayo ay may nararamdaman sa mga puso ninyo, so hindi kayo pwedeng mag-exercise exercise ng mas mabigat sa mga ginagawa ninyong light lang na exercise. For strengthening, monitoring the intensity of strength training involves a special set of parameters. So may mga parameters din siya. Ano lang yung kaya natin gawin? So yun lang yung ating gagawin sa exercise. Ano? Pag hindi nyo kaya, so uti-uti lang. Parang sa principle of progression. How to get your target heart rate? So first, we have to get the maximum heart rate. It is given. Our MHR, or the maximum heart rate, is equal to 220. So minus your age, you will get the maximum heart rate. Okay? So our MHR is 220. Example, ang age ninyo ay 17. So 220 minus 17 will give you the difference of 203. So our maximum heart rate is 203. Okay, so after getting the first step on how to get your target heart rate, here is the second step. So determine the heart rate reserve. So first, before getting that, we have first get our resting heart rate. So the resting heart rate is equal to number of heartbeat in 15 seconds multiplied by 4. So before doing that, you have take a 30-minute total rest without talking. And after resting, so you will start to count your heartbeat in 15 seconds. So for example, nabilang na natin yung ating heartbeat at tayo ay nakakuha ng 30. So multiply it by 4, our resting heart rate is 120. So for the HRR, here is our formula. So HRR is equal to MHR minus the resting heart rate, or the RHR. So that is our heart rate reserve. So for the computation, our MHR is 203 minus our RHR is 120 is 83. So our HRR is 83. Next step, you will take the 60% and 80% of the HRR. So here, letter A is our 60% multiplied by HRR. Ang ating HRR ay 83. Multiply by 0.60. So before multiplying, you have to convert the percent into decimal form. So the decimal form of 60% is 0.60, or 60 divided by 100. Okay, so 0.60 multiplied by 83 will give you 50. So our HRR within 60% is 50. How about the 80%? Same as the conversion as letter A. So that will be 0.80 multiplied by 83 will get you 66. Okay? So the last step to get your heartbeat, or the target heart rate. Add each HRR to resting heart rate to obtain the target heart rate, or the THR range. So here we are. Letter A, 60% of the HRR plus HRR is equal to the beats per minute. Same as the 80%. Your resting pulse rate is the number of times or heartbeats per minute after you at rest. Take note. So computation. So our 60% HRR is 50 plus HRR is 83. So it will give you 133. So our HRR or HRHR rather is 133 beats per minute in 60%. How about the 80%? 80% HRR is 66 plus our HRR is 83. So our RHR is 149 beats per minute. So that is how you will get your target heart rate. So overloading will achieve by the following, the acronym FITT. So we're on the letter T. First T is the time. So time is how long. For cardiovascular exercise, it is suggested that the cardio exercise is 30 to 60 minutes. But the duration of your workout depends on the type of exercise. So, depende sa anong ginagawa ninyong exercise kung pwede ninyong patagalin ang inyong pag-exercise. So, for strengthening, how long you will lift weights depends on the type of workout you're doing and on your schedule. So, kung dumbbell, so depende pa rin sa inyo kung gaano katagal kayo magda-dumbbell. At syempre, sa weight naman o yung barbell, so depende rin sa bigat. Okay, the second T of the FITT is the type, or what we say, what kind of exercise. For cardio exercise is changeable since any activity that makes your heart rate up counts. So, example dito, meron tayong dancing, running, walking, jogging, and cycling are some of the wide variety of activities you may choose. So, these are all exercise good for our cardio. So, for the strengthening, it includes any exercise using resistance like dumbbells, barbells, machine, and many others to work your muscles. So, sa pagpapalakas ng ating mga muscles. So, yan yung mga ginagamit nating mga accessories or equipments sa pagpapalakas ng ating muscles. So, hope you understand our FITT. So, how to use the FITT principle in your workout? We will find out that in our next video. So, good luck and always keep safe.